Okay.
Hi,
Hi, Dhimant. How are you?
I'm I'm doing good. Thank you so
Good.
much for
Yes.
joining in.
Thank you. Thank you.
So hello everybody. Welcome to this conversation today. Quick introduction. My name is Deeman Parekh. I am the founder of the Better India, and today is a very special day for us. For me personally, we have Mr. Siddharth Kak, one of the most eminent people from India, and I think he's a household name and really needs no introduction. But I will still attempt one. Mr. Kak is an Indian documentary maker, television producer, presenter, and of course, best known as the producer and presenter of Surabhi. Mr. Kak, welcome on the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dhimant. I look forward to chatting with you and with our colleagues and friends who must have joined in. I look forward to
Great,
that.
great. And, like I'm sure, almost everyone watching here, Surabhi was a show that really shaped our love for India's art and culture and history. And personally for me, it had some of my fondest early memories of sitting around the television with our family was about watching that amazing show. And while we will go deeper into this conversation and kind of understand, but what I really wanted to do is have Mr. Kak give you the big announcement, which is
Which is, first of all, that Dhimant is going to address me as Siddharth Kak. And the other thing is that I'm very pleased and delighted that Better India and Surabhi are collaborating to bring to you some very interesting stories from the Surabhi archive every week, every day, every time, in which there will be a very interesting collaboration between the young and dynamic team of Dhimant and Better India and our own team in Surabhi, led by Rita Gadodia. They're all behind the scenes, but they make it happen. So we are very delighted. And then we should be bringing to you, Dhimant will tell me when the first story will be going live, but very soon should be bringing these stories to you regularly. Interesting stories, thought-provoking stories from the Surabhi archive with Better India.
great. Yes, so there you have it, the big announcement from Siddharth Kak himself. We are bringing Surabhi back. And we're really excited to actually bring to you this curation of the best of Surabhi from the Surabhi archives, but with a take for today's times. And this is really being done for the first time online. And the first episode goes live today at 7 p.m. You should catch it on our Facebook page. We'll also be on YouTube and all the Better India channels. But what I also wanted to kind of share is that we've been working on this for almost, I think, more than a couple of years, and I believe that now more than ever, the country needs to kind of revisit its beauty, rediscover its culture, and really bring the focus back on the Better India. So on that note, I'm going to ask you a few questions, Siddharth,
Please.
on some of the very interesting things around Surabhi.
Okay.
And at the same time, our readers, if you have any questions, of course, around Surabhi or for Mr. Siddharth, please leave them in the comments, and I will take them up as and when we kind of move forward. But the first real point, Siddharth, like, tell us what inspired you to come up with Surabhi. What is the story behind Surabhi? One of the most iconic TV shows we've seen.
Thank you. But Dhimant, actually, the story is it's not a story of somebody trying to make a program. It is a story of somebody searching for themselves. I think it's very interesting for even young people today. Culture doesn't stand still; it's constantly evolving. So even what we may have done some years ago, and we continue to do even today, constantly evolves. It keeps changing. But what is constant in terms of search is identity. Who are we? Who we are keeps changing, but who we are also means a continuous exploration of what we are. So actually, this is where it was a search or a need that I felt as a person who was from a English speaking kind of a background, that how do I belong? To whom do I belong? Who am I? और ये सब जो सवाल थे जो मेरे दिमाग में थे कि मैं कौन हूँ, वो मैं कहता हूँ और मैं समझता हूँ कि सुरभि के द्वारा इसके जवाब मुझे मिलने लगे। तो ये जवाब मेरे लिए भी थे और वो पूरे जो ऑडियंस था, जिसे हम परिवार कहते थे, क्योंकि सुरभि परिवार वाज नॉट just behind the TV camera, it was in front of the camera, it was in front of the TV screens. All of you who were sitting there were part of the parivar, and they continue to be part of this parivar. So I think it was a search for myself. Perhaps that is what made it a little different. Perhaps that is what made it more attractive and acceptable, because we were not talking down. We were talking together. और एक उसमें हमने इनोवेशन एक आई, वो इनोवेशन वाज जस्ट इंस्टिंक्टिव। जमीन पे बैठ के हम बात करते थे, तो वी रिमूव्ड द टॉप डाउन। एक्चुअली फिजिकली वी स्टॉप बीइंग टॉप डाउन कि ऊपर से बैठ के हम बात कर रहे हैं, बट साथ में जैसे कोई घर में अगर आप कभी कभी जमीन पे बैठ के, यू आर मोस्ट कंफर्टेबल व्हेन यू आर सिटिंग ऑन द फ्लोर एंड सिटिंग ऑन द कारपेट टॉकिंग टू ईच अदर। वी ब्रॉट दैट एलिमेंट into our conversation, with the audience becoming the whole of India. And I think that was an interesting device by which we discovered that the audience also felt much more relaxed and more comfortable when we were talking. Formality nikal gayi usse.
Yeah.
So that's how it was.
I think that thing was so beautiful, the way you put it, that even while anchoring and presenting the show, you people, both you and Renuka Sahni were sitting on the ground and kind of doing it, and where it changed the hierarchy in some ways.
True. Because there was, you must remember that the television before our time, probably young people today don't realize it, but the television before our time was a very heavy, it was a single channel. There was a lot of government, information which went through that particular channel. So there was no other channel that you could see. And in fact, if you wanted to communicate with us, unlike the format we are doing today, going on Facebook, and then literally hundreds of thousands of people anywhere around the world can actually tune into this. It wasn't so in those days. And you can only communicate with a letter. And the letters used to be coming in hundreds and thousands. We never expected it. But I think perhaps I give a lot of credit to my colleague Renuka Sahni, because she was such a wonderful presence, magnetic presence on TV. She had $1 million smile, and that $1 million smile lit up the screen, and people actually tuned in lakhs to be able to listen to her, and perhaps to listen to the way in which we were able to forge, a nok jhonk jise kehte hain, between a more older person and a younger, bright, bubbly person. And that became the symbol of Surabhi, which ran for 10 years at prime time on Doordarshan National, which was the only channel at one time that anybody would ever get to see. Very different today, of course.
And personally for me, I think Surabhi really opened up a world of things about your own country that you didn't know. And back in those days, I'm talking about the early 90s and stuff. There was one television channel, and you didn't really travel as much as a lot of people travel today. So your window to the world and to your own country also was this. has there been have you seen a significant impact of a cultural phenomenon like Surabhi? Because it ran for 10 years, it did some amazing work on the ground. And what are some of the unforgettable moments or the impact that you've seen because of the work you did?
We discovered quite soon. One of the things that we wanted to do was to make the communication simple. Unless and until you didn't understand, even when we spoke Hindi, we did not want to make it academic Hindi. It had to be spoken. And therefore, we should also understand. And so the one was that the communication was a very easy and almost a two-way kind of communication, which was found, which people liked. Also, we must remember, times have changed. Today, you don't have the patience to watch something even for a minute. But in those days, for us, when we were brainstorming as to how long each story should be, we were very pleased with ourselves that we are able to control every story within 4 minutes. Now, 4 minutes was less than half or 1/3 of what used to be a normal story. 9, 10, 12 minutes used to come and everybody had to watch it. There was nothing else that you could do. But we deliberately chose to tell the story in a much shorter time. And today I realize that even 4 minutes, who is going to wait for 4 minutes to hear the outcome of a story? You have to be even shorter than that and much faster than that. But we kept it short. And we felt that we needed to have an approach of searching for something together. We didn't know everything. We didn't pretend to be aware of everything. When we went somewhere, we were discovering it for the first time. But more important, people do that in many programs. They go out and discover and go to new places. We were constantly looking for connection. We were interpreting this discovery. So the discovery was either interpreting going in or interpreting going out, in which one thing that we also discovered, and which perhaps what the question you're asking, did it have an impact? I have a feeling that one reason why one slim girl and one fat fellow like me were able to have a large audience enough was because it became a program of identity. So the identity meant that people were also searching for their identity through the program. People are proud to be Indian. So what are you proud of? So even today, that is a question even young people have to ask themselves. That you are proud of India. We are all proud of India. But what are you proud of? Are you proud of the fact that we have won the ODI, or in the we are very good in terms of the IPL? What are we proud of? So I think these unspoken little things, the millions of people who make little crafts, the music that we have, and the format that we have for classical dance, all this is who we are. Without it, what would we be? I mean, when you see a little object which is made, and you find that this is very unique to India. If you look around and see, even in my home, all these little objects which are there, they all become जो हम कहते हैं भारतीयता, and that makes you proud, and that makes you realize that actually you are centuries of what people have been doing in our country, and to introduce you to each of these people in the different fields and their logic and their take on what India is to them actually made the bigger composition of what India is to us. And I think that was the contribution that Surabhi had, because people used to do PhDs and used to do dissertations on Surabhi in the days of its heyday. because it was a program, I think, not just of a, it was not a travel show, it was not a cultural show. I believe it was a program of Indian identity. And that's what was
That's
important.
that's a very interesting way to put it, right? It was, and somewhere when I was talking about the cultural impact, and I realized that Surabhi left a strain in my upbringing, and while I kind of move forward, and I think the Better India kind of had Surabhi
Yes,
had some
you
sort of play in terms of when I was looking at what do we how do we talk about the identity of ourselves. And one more adjective I would like to use for Surabhi was that it was very intimate as well. It really broke the barriers between people and the Indian culture. So thank you again for that. And of course, we have one comment from Arvind Kamath. He says that Surabhi broke the record for the highest number of letters received for a TV program, which actually forced India Post to charge more for TV postcards.
वो बड़ी अजब कहानी है उसमें। हमको मिलता था, आपको मैं एक ये कहानी बता दूं कि पहले जब हमने शुरू किया, हमने रिस्क लिया. It was a risk from our side. My dear, who the young man who asked this question? His name is
Arvind Kamath.
अरविंद कामत जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, आपने ये प्रश्न पूछा या आपने स्टेटमेंट दिया. आपको मैं ये कहूं कि पहले जब हमने ये प्रश्न पूछने लगे तो हम उस वक्त बड़ा रिस्क ले रहे थे कि हम अनाउंस कर रहे थे कि कितनी चिट्ठियां हमको मिली हैं. क्योंकि आप जब अनाउंस करते हैं तो अपना फेलियर भी आप साथ में अनाउंस कर सकते हैं कि भाई हो सकता था कि जो शुरू में सच बात ये है कि 100, 200, 300 चिट्ठियां ही आया करती थी. अब वो अगर 200 से भी अगर 50 बन जाए तो हमको वो अनाउंस करना पड़ता था. लेकिन शायद उस वक्त ये एक जुनून था, एंड वी वर crazy with the creativity of our show and of the connection that we were discovering. तो हम पहले जो 2-3 महीने के लिए ये जो चिट्ठियां थी, they did not go over 8,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. It was normal. One day, one week, there was a tipping. पता नहीं क्या हुआ, और वो 2,000 से 15,000 चिट्ठियां आ गई. दूसरे हफ्ते 25,000 हो गए. अब हमारे लिए प्रॉब्लम होने लगा कि 25,000 चिट्ठियां. देखा, माय गॉड, इससे अब ज्यादा और क्या हो सकता है. तो आई एक्चुअली फ्रॉम Ahmednagar, there was a very fine artist or craftsman. People used to write to us. So he used to make copper vessels, and we got a beautiful big copper vessel made by him for our Surabhi program. बहुत खूबसूरत बनाया उन्होंने. He came and he delivered it also, and we began to put the letters into that huge container. But honestly, within 3 months, that container was also obsolete, because we were now getting nearly 1 lakh of letters. That container also was too small for it. So I remember the time when actually the record that we established, जिसे हम कहते हैं उस वक्त the Limca record, so है like a Guinness record. We got 14 lakh, 1.4 million letters in 1 week, which was perhaps more than what any TV station gets. For a question that we actually asked for Maharashtra. It was a Maharashtra quiz. उसमें 4 क्वेश्चन थे या 5 क्वेश्चन थे कि टेल अस दिस अबाउट महाराष्ट्र, एंड क्या भौचाल लग गया उसमें कितनी चिट्ठियां आई. और वो पॉइंट था, आई थिंक दैट वाज द टिपिंग पॉइंट फॉर आल्सो गवर्नमेंट टू नोटिस कि भाई ये लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, जरा रोको इनको, जरा सोचो. ये पोस्ट कार्ड्स पे वो करते थे, और पोस्ट कार्ड्स हमने पोस्ट कार्ड इसलिए अडॉप्ट किए. और ये भी एक इंटरेस्टिंग बात है आपके लिए धीमान. द पोस्ट कार्ड्स were chosen by us because people were writing to us in inland letters, and they were writing. अब आप सोच लीजिए कि आप घर पे जब आपको माँ बाप से या कोई किसी से चिट्ठी आती, बड़े चाव से आप उसको देखते हैं, खोलते हैं, लगता 5 मिनट भी लगे तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. अभी आपके इनलैंड लेटर्स अगर 50 हो, सोचिए कि आपको 50 को कितना टाइम लगता है खोलने में और देखने में, और अगर फिर वो 500 हो, वो कितना टाइम लगने हुआ. अगर 5,000 हो तो आपको तो खोलना से शुरू भी नहीं कर सकते हैं उसको. तो इसलिए हमने रिक्वेस्ट किया था कि आप हमें प्लीज कृपा करें हमें इनलैंड लेटर में ना भेजें, क्योंकि उसको खोलना, रखना, बताना आपको हमारे लिए, हम छोटा सा स्टाफ है, इट वाज अ स्मॉल, इट वाज बढ़ता गया। आई मीन देयर वाज अ टाइम when there were about 100 people working on Surabhi everywhere across the country. But पहले पहले तो बहुत छोटा था। हमने रिक्वेस्ट किया कि आप इसको पोस्ट कार्ड में हमें भेजिए, बिकॉज पोस्ट कार्ड was uniform size, you could quickly see it and you could go ahead and you evaluate. And then I found that our postcard letter evaluation team जो अपने जो record रखती थी, very nice team, they used to sit and a room was given to them and the letters used to come in, they used to sit in the room and sort out all the postcards and then which are the right, which are the wrong, and they had created a kind of flood watermark on the wall. What is the flood watermark? If you put, because the postcards are of uniform size,
Right.
तो अगर आप 1000 पोस्टकार्ड रखोगे तो आपका फ्लड वाटरमार्क यहाँ तक है। आप 10,000 पोस्टकार्ड रखोगे, फ्लड वाटरमार्क यहाँ है। आप 1,00,000 पोस्टकार्ड रखोगे तो फ्लड वाटरमार्क यहाँ पे है। So you are able to, they were very smart, they were able to very quickly within an hour or two decide how many letters had come, because they could just stack it up against the wall and see how many letters have come. Then of course it was to select. So then we used to call young children to come and select the letter, and they used to wander. We created sets. The whole set was made of postcards, and there were lines of postcards on the floor, and the children would run about. We had created for that 14 lakh letters. There was so much. 104 trucks came from the post office carrying post cards. The post offices ran out of postcards. We erected a shamiana, and the two young children had to climb the mountain of postcards to the top and then dive in and then fish out one postcard from somewhere. So even the odds of somebody winning had become, small.
Yeah.
But people used to write all the time. But I think there, since it was not just once that we got 14 lakhs, we used to be getting lakhs almost every week.
Right.
Then the government, quite rightly, I thought, decided कि भाई अब एक competition postcard निकालो, because these are subsidized postcards.
Yes.
It was for some few paise, and it was more that people from villages should write home. They want their pension or they're making applications to government. It was a social service. It was not to win a prize in a competition. So yes, this was not a prize which was basically a monetary prize. It was a prize about knowing about India.
Right.
And I think that was also surprised and amazed me कि लोगों को कितना चाव था, कितनी दिलचस्पी थी कि अपने देश के बारे में जानने की और दूसरों को बताने की कि उनके एरिया में क्या खास चीज है जो हमको आके कवर करना चाहिए। तो पोस्ट कार्ड के जरिए हुआ करता था उन दिनों। तो competition postcard came, it was much more expensive.
Yeah.
But it didn't stop the number of postcards which came.
Yeah. No, in fact, Arvind also says that, if survey happens today, you may receive millions of social media posts. So to me, I think, I was fortunate enough to grow up during a time when I could watch the series, and now we're trying to get this into the the sort of the digital world that we are all in today. So I would love it, Siddharth, if you could help give a sort of a sneak preview in terms of what we are planning in this series, how we are curating the best of Surabhi, but with a take for today's time, right? Because that we are making it relevant. So it would be wonderful if you could give us a slight sneak preview before, of course, the series gets released later.
One of the most popular parts of Surabhi was what we used to call Sawal Jawab, question and answer. And I think that's what a normal feature of anybody when they look around them is of asking questions. And I feel young people also are asking questions. So we are wanting to answer questions. So the stories that we will take will be answering some interesting question or the other. Now, what could they be? is something that you will start seeing from a few hours from now. What were those questions? And more important, again, related to those questions, how are they important to us today? What is the relevance? क्योंकि my feeling is that more important than the information was the insight. And I think that's what you also try and do through Better India. That you don't only just offer them information, but you also offer them insight about uh, connections between things, about the importance of something, about their contextualization to your life. So we would hope to offer you some insight. To give you a small example, uh, uh, I don't think it's coming today. It'll come in a few days probably. In fact, I don't know what is coming today, so it'll be a surprise for me as well. There used to be a thing in the Mughal times which was called a Kos Minar. Kos Minar is अपने देश की कहावतों में भी कोसों दूर एक कोस means it's a measurement of distance. So a Kos Minar was set up by the Mughal Empire all along its highways to measure the distance of their empire. Now, of course, the difference is that for you to be able to communicate with that empire also meant that you couldn't do it the way we do it today. वो आप फोन उठा के किसी से बात नहीं कर सकते हो और कोई सोशल मैसेज नहीं होता है लेकिन the Kos Minars were they fulfill three purposes. One purpose was have you lost your way wherever you're going? Here's the Kos Minar, which tells you that you are on the main highway, Sadak-e-Azam as it was called, of the Mughal Empire. So you can find your way from here. Second, there would be a guest house, a sarai, caravan sarai, attached to it, which meant that if you were hungry and thirsty, you would at least get something out there. And the third, to my mind, was that in those days, that every Kos Minar had a horseman and a drummer stationed at each Kos Minar. I must have been quite an administrative job at that point of time to do all this because there were around 3,000 Kos Minars all across the country.
Wow.
So that each drummer and horse person was equipped to ride like the wind to carry some news across to either the next Kos Minar or to the next 10th Kos Minar. And then by relay, you could, if there was an emergency information, at least it would be reaching somewhere in a few days. If not, it wouldn't take months to do that as compared to minutes or seconds that you take. So it had that purpose of conveying information as well and became a instrument of governance for the empire. And I would like to believe, I have no great proof for it, but this is the speculation of history itself. कि क्या आप सोचिए कि उस जमाने में ऐसा हो सकता था कि उनको एक आइडिया था कुछ 2000 साल पहले कि फेसबुक का जो वॉल है उन्होंने पहले ही कोस मीनार में ढूंढ लिया क्योंकि कोस मीनार पे भी जो हुकूमत के जो पॉइंट्स थे या कोई प्रोक्लेमेशंस थे एडिक्ट्स थे वो भी कोस मीनार की दीवारों पे आया करते थे according to historians and academics and archaeologists. So was it a preview of Facebook today in those days? Makes you think. And also let me tell you, once you get into history, it entertains you because you have all kinds of इसमें अलग-अलग पहलू होते हैं. मुझे उस वक्त के डायरेक्टर जनरल साहब थे डॉक्टर MC जोशी जी, बहुत मजेदार इंसान थे. उन्होंने मुझे एक कहानी सुनाई अबाउट द कोस मीनार एंड ही सेड कि आप जानते हैं कि कहावतें हैं कि उस जमाने में, मुगलों के जमाने में या उससे पहले, एक कोस को किस तरह से नापा जाता था. हाउ डिड यू मेजर the distance of one course and what is that distance of one course? So the distance of one course is around what may be equal to around 2 or 3 kilometers or
Okay.
so. तो वो जो मजेदार कहावत है, दो मजेदार है, एक मैं अभी बताता हूँ, वो है कि अगर आप किसी गाय को चरने के लिए सुबह छोड़ दें खेत में और वो घूमती फिरती वो चलती जाएगी अपने आप और आएगी, तो हो सकता है कि वो जो डिस्टेंस दैट इज कवर्ड इज इन द होल डे टिल सनडाउन इज अराउंड 2 or 3 kilometers and that is one course. So that was one way in which they started, and there's a fascinating story behind measurements, the measurements of height, of width,
Right.
of weight. And the second thing was the rules and regulations given relating to the caravanserai. अब आज की तो बुकिंग चलती है, you have so many different apps on which you book your your travel, your stay, and so on and so forth. What were the rules of travel and stay in that time? You could not book a caravanserai if you were traveling with a caravan without giving a gap of at least 15 to 20 days.
Okay.
Why? Because the thought behind it. आप जब आओगे तो you will have with you horses and cattle or sheep or whatever it is that you are traveling with. They have to, where will they feed? So they'll feed on the grass all around. Once you have fed and left, there is no grass left for the next caravan to come. So you cannot come to this caravanserai at any rate for the next 15 days until the grass is grown again. A far great difference from today's instant booking, but that was 15 दिन के बाद ही आप आइएगा. You have to go to a different caravanserai otherwise, if you got a number of cattle along with you. So these are very interesting real life facts of how people solve their issues in those days, thousands of years ago.
No, that's such an amazing story, and for those of you who are watching us right now, very, very excited and happy to tell you that we've got many such stories which are going to be coming up. We're going to be launching every week an episode, both in Hindi and in English, on the Better India. So stay tuned. Catch all these amazing stories. That's one of them which Siddharth just narrated us. And this was Siddharth. This was really a wonderful chat.
Thank you.
Again, very excited to bring Surabhi here. And I'm really excited for our community, and for people who have not watched this, to actually be able to watch this and relive. For those who are in their 40s now, for them to relive these wonderful memories and stories. So do catch Surabhi's first episode live today. Yes, today we're going live at 7 p.m. On the Better India's Facebook page. Do share it with your friends and family, with whom you can share this amazing, what I call it as a cauldron of information that you've never seen before. And Siddharth, thank you once again, really, for being a part of this.
I'm going to add a last line to what you are saying.
Yes.
It is not the information, it is the interpretation. That I think you might find interesting. Information तो आप कहीं पे Google करके सकते हैं, but Google will not tell you the secrets of life if you like. Maybe it might also. What I would like you to do, because Surabhi का जो एक slogan रहा है कि interpreting the past for the future. So what is, it's not just stories, it is interpreting the distillation of a civilization for today's world. What are the truths and knowledge that our ancestors had, which are relevant and important for you, but not to be told in a manner which is very heavy and very academic, but fun. Just let's have fun with facts. And so therefore, interpretation is the key. And I hope that every day you will find something, and some new fact will say, wow, I didn't know that. So I'm going to ask you one question. It will be answered in one of our stories. Let me leave you with that question, Dimant, with your permission. There is, do you know that stones have a gender? That there are male stones and that there are female stones? And if you knew, Do you know why? And if you don't know, watch for Surabhi on Better India. It'll give you the answer. Okay. That's it.
Great. I look forward to that. On that note, thank you so much again for being a part of this. And everybody, please watch out for
Thank
Surabhi's
you. Thank you.
upcoming episodes. Thank you.
It's all about notes anyway.
Yes.
Bye. Thank you.